So you never want this to happen, but if your money gets stolen from your bank account in a clear case of fraud, you expect the bank to step in and make it right.
Well, Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Grace here. And Justin, you're finding that's not often happening.
Yeah, we're hearing so often from people on our tip line dealing with fraud on their bank accounts and struggling to get their money back. There was no phishing email?
No, nothing.
For Suzanne Lee, it's become a bit of an obsession.
Probably all day, every day for a while.
The Alpharetta resident has become an amateur private eye, forced to investigate the theft herself from her and husband Justin's Chase bank account.
I couldn't let it go because it was so unfair.
The Lees say someone walked into a Chase bank branch with a fake ID and a social security number that didn't match theirs and sent a wire transfer, draining their account, $30,000.
You had someone go into the bank, pretend to be you, steal all your money, and the bank says tough.
That's pretty much exactly.
The Lees have been battling to get their money back from Chase for more than a year, even losing an arbitration case.
It's incredibly infuriating and absurd, you know, on its face.
This is the latest denial.
The Streetmans are at 9 denials from Wells Fargo in their bank fraud battle.
And when the banks deal with millions upon millions of dollars every day, 20,000 don't seem like a lot, but it's devastating to your normal people.
For the Streetmans, it started with a fraud alert text.
And they made mention that it was from a Walmart charge. We had just been to Walmart.
But instead of Wells Fargo warning about fraud, it was actually a scammer on the line who, during a series of calls, cleared out both the Streetmans' checking and savings accounts and even pulled cash advances from their credit cards, a total of $63,000.
They never notified us. They never verified these wire transfers before they were processed.
The Streetmans got the money back from the credit cards and one of the wire transfers, but we're still out 20 grand.
It's been devastating. Where do you just come up with an extra $20,000?
Both families thought their banks would help. That's what FDIC is for, right? But it's not. FDIC does not insure against loss by fraud or theft. Federal regulations do require banks protect customers from wire fraud loss. This section right here is key. The consumer's liability not to exceed $50. But the Lees fight with Chase proves it is not that simple.
They weren't helpful at all.
That's why we reached out to U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. He chairs the Senate Banking Committee.
We've sent a letter to the banks. We've reached out to them. We've pushed them. We're hopeful that they're going to come to the table and fix this.
He sent this letter to the American Banking Association demanding a briefing on what's being done to protect consumers against fast-rising bank fraud. Brown's office tells us ABA briefed Senate staff on a plan to shorten fraud claim times.
And implicit in that relationship is that they will make you whole when you are wronged by some outside force.
For the Streetmans, good news finally came several weeks after our interview. After Channel 2 Action News started asking questions, Wells Fargo finally restored the rest of the money to their account just last week.
It's the difference of, you know, being able to have our bills paid on time, being able to have our savings account back.
Now, the Lees still don't have their money. Chase tells us in a statement that they are in contact with the customers and working with them to resolve the situation. Our Channel 2 consumer advisor, Clark Howard, joining me now. Now, the Streetmans got their money back, Clark, but unfortunately, that's not happening in a lot of these cases.
And I don't think if you wouldn't have called, I don't think we would have seen any restitution. You know, the key here is that the larger the bank, the harder it is for you to ever get your money back. We're dealing here with 2 of the 4 largest banks in the United States, one of the largest in the world involved here, Chase. So the smaller the bank, credit union, that's where you should be. And also, you got to be aware the criminals are after your money all the time, and you've got to be there to be your own police officer and protect yourself as best you can.
And one of the things they're doing is going after your phones, and that is something you are digging into for 6.
Oh, yes. I mean, the fraud so much is originating on your phone, your iPhone or Android, and that smartphone can really end up, instead of being your friend, hurt you. I'm going to tell you the steps you need to take to protect yourself from fraud on your phone and how to keep the criminals out of your wallet. And that's tonight at 6.
We will see you at 6.